The Wildcats have one more chance to pick up a win in 2022 before the calendar flips to 2023. As the year draws to a close, the Wildcats are getting set for a conference matchup hosting the East Buchanan Buccaneers. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's presentation of Wildcat Basketball on the Wildcat Sports YouTube page and the NFHS Network. I'm David Warrington, and the Wildcats are home in Central City tonight for a boys varsity matchup taking on the Buccaneers. Before we get started tonight, I have to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is a proud supporter of Central City Wildcat sports. At Heartland Bank, we recognize more than ever the need to support local customers and organizations in our communities. As your community bank, we're here for you. So it's boys only here tonight in Central City. The girls were scheduled to take place in a varsity girls matchup right about now, but unfortunately some illness going on within that program, which is already low on numbers to begin with. So it will be boys only here tonight, and they are about 8.5 minutes away from getting this one underway. Let's take a preview of both teams. First for your Central City Wildcats. Wildcats are 5-4 on the season, 3-2 in the Tri-Rivers West. They won last night over at Midland. 50-47 was the final there. Assistant coach for the Wildcats is John McGovern. Central City's head coach in his first season is Ryan Turner. During his time with the Wildcats, Coach Turner with a record of 5 wins and 4 losses. Some players to watch for the Wildcats include Makai Benton, the juniors leading the team in scoring at 13.7 points per night. Also the leading rebounder, pulling in 6.1 boards per contest. Also got to watch out for the Closterman boys. First, the sophomore Matthew, second leading scorer at 13.1 points per game. Second leading rebounder as well with 5.8 per contest. Also leads in assists with 3.3 and steals at 2.2. And Aiden is the junior. Aiden Closterman, the third leading scorer at 10.2 points per night. And second in assists, 1.9 on average for him. And is shooting at a team best 35.8% from beyond the three-point line. Now taking a look at tonight's opponent, the East Buchanan Buccaneers. They come in 4-3 on the season, 3-2 in the Tri-Rivers West. Buccaneers were winner last night at South Winneshiek in overtime. Final there was 71-61. Assistant coach for the Buccaneers is Lee White. East Buchanan's head coach in his first season is Troy Ersland. During his time with the Buccaneers, Coach Ersland with a record of 4 wins and 3 losses. It is a matchup of first-year coaches here tonight. Pretty much the exact opposite of Friday when Coach Turner was matched up with Coach Christofferson, who's been coaching longer than Coach Turner's been alive. A couple of first-year coaches here tonight, and here are some players to keep your eye on for the Buccaneers. First is the senior Chance B, averaging 16.3 points and 5.4 rebounds per night, both of which are best on the team. B is also just 24 hours removed from a 28-point performance last night at South Winneshiek in that overtime win. Also got to look out for Tristan Russell, the junior, is the second leading scorer at 9 points per contest. Averages 2.5 rebounds as well to go along with a team best 3.6 assists. And the last player to keep your eye on is Dalton Kortenkamp. The senior is the third leading scorer at 8 points per night, third leading rebounder at 4.7 per night, and the third leading player in steals, averaging 2.3 steals per contest. Looking at the history between these two teams, since 2008, Central City leads the series 16 games to 12. The Buccaneers have won 4 straight dating back to last year. But before that, Central City had won 8 in a row dating back to 2016. Last year was a Buccaneers sweep on January 7th over in Winthrop. It was a 58-28 win for East Buchanan. And then here at Central City on February 1st, the Wildcats gave the Buccaneers a run for their money, but a buzzer beater from beyond the three-point line gave East Buck the win. Final there was 48-45. So there is your rundown of both teams. We're about 5.5 minutes away from tipping this one off and getting underway here from Central City. Before we do that, why don't we go ahead and take a look at some of the action going on around the conference. There were 3 non-conference games last night. Both the teams playing here tonight were in action. Central City went to Midland, and the boys won it 50-47. I mentioned East Buchanan went to South Winneshiek. They got the victory 71-61 in overtime. And Central Elkader went to Edgewood Colesburg and took down the Vikings, and the final score of that one was 67-56. Games going on around the conference tonight. Of course, East Buck is here in Central City. Maquoketa Valley is over at North Lynn. Starmont's at Edgewood. Colesburg and Alburnett is at Springville. On the east side, North Cedar is at Lisbon, Easton Valley is at Prince of Peace, and Calamus-Wheatland is at Marquette Catholic. There's a look at the rundown of games going on in the conference here tonight. And with that said, we'll go ahead and take a look at the updated conference standings here in the Tri-Rivers West. Northland leads the conference. They're still perfect, the only remaining unbeaten. They are 5-0. Albernet and Maquoketa Valley are both 4-1. East Buchanan and Central City both sit at 3-2. Springville is 1-4. And Edgewood, Colesburg, and Starmont are both winless in the conference, 0-5. Both teams are winless overall as well. They're both 0-9. It's a big matchup for conference standings. Wildcats certainly could be in contention for that third place spot. But East Buchanan's a game they certainly need to win here tonight to jump over the Buccaneers. Both come in 3-2 in conference play. So we'll see if they can take that leap and take down the Buccaneers here this evening. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's contest. First projected starters for the Buccaneers. First at a guard is Chance B. The 6'1 senior leads the way at 16.3 points per night, shoots at 54% from the field. Also leads the way rebounding the basketball at 5.5 per game, adds 1.5 assists and 1.5 steals. At another guard is Tristan Russell, the 5'11 junior, averages 9 points per game, second best in the team, 2.5 rebounds as well as a team best 3.5 assists, and 1 steal. At a forward is Hunter Bowers, the 6'3 junior, averages 8 points per contest, adds in 5 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a team best 0.9 blocks. Also in the starting five will be Ryland Cornell. He's a 5'11 senior, averaging 6 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and a team best 3 steals. And rounding out the starting five for East Buchanan will be Dalton Kortenkamp. He's a 6'1 senior guard, averages 8 points per contest, 4.7 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and nearly 2.5 steals, rounding out the Buccaneers starting five. And for Central City, we do have one change in the starting lineup that went into effect last night, and we'll get to that in a moment. First at a guard is Matthew Klosterman, the 5'10 sophomore, averaging 13 points per night, nearly 6 rebounds, and leads the way in assists with nearly 3.5 and 2.2 steals, also leads the team. At the shooting guard position is Matthew's brother Aiden Klosterman, the 5'10 junior, averaging just over 10 points per game, nearly 3 rebounds, nearly 2 assists, and nearly 1 steal for Aiden. Submitted into the starting lineup last night was Jaden Hansen. He's back in there tonight. The 5'11 junior is averaging just shy of a point per contest, a little over 2 rebounds as well. At a forward is Makai Benton. The 6'3 junior leads the way at 13.7 points per contest this season, having a great junior season for himself. Also the leading rebounder at just over 6 rebounds per night, a little over 1 assist and a little under 1 steal per contest. And the starting five for Central City, the man in the middle is Marcus Shellhorn, the 6'4 senior, averaging 4 points per night, shooting at a team best 51% from the floor, nearly 6 rebounds, 1.5 steals, and a team best 0.7 blocks. That rounds out the starting five for both sides, as we are a little under 90 seconds away from officially meeting the starting lineups here tonight, and then we'll be getting set to go. East Buchanan on the road, coming off an overtime victory at South Winneshiek 24 hours ago. We'll see if they've got some tired legs after playing the extra session last night, having to battle over to get that road win. Wildcats also had to battle, but they stayed in regulation with a 3-point victory over at Midland last night in a non-conference Tri-Rivers East versus Tri-Rivers West matchup. The Wildcats were able to get the better of. Mrs. Hackman has the microphone. We're about to meet tonight's starting lineups for this matchup between East Buchanan and Central City. And as Mrs. Hackman reads off the starters, I will follow along. Tri-Rivers West matchup, East Buchanan and Central City. For the Buccaneers, a 6'1 senior, number 1, Chance Bay. For the Wildcats, a 5'10 sophomore, number 1, Matthew Klosterman. For the Buccaneers, a 5'11 junior, number 2, Tristan Russell. For the Wildcats, a 5'10 junior, number 10, Aiden Klosterman. For the Buccaneers, a 6'3 junior, number 3, Hunter Bowers. For the Wildcats, a 5'11 junior, number 13, Jaden Hansen. For the Buccaneers, a 5'11 senior, number 5, Ryland Cornell. For the Wildcats, a 6'3 junior, number 23, Makai Benton. For the Buccaneers, a 6'1 senior, number 24, Dalton Kortenkamp. And for the Wildcats, a 6'4 senior, number 34, Marcus Shellhorn. Assistant coach for the Buccaneers is Lee White. First-year head coach is Troy Ersland. Assistant coach for the Wildcats is John McGovern. First-year head coach is Ryan Turner. At this time, we'll step aside for the singing of our national anthem, after which we will have opening tip-off for this conference matchup. The anthem has been performed, and we are just about set to go for Tri-Rivers West basketball. One more time, your starting lineups. Bay, Russell, Bowers, Cornell, and Kortenkamp for the Buccaneers. Klosterman, Hansen, Benton, and Shellhorn for Central City. Buccaneers wearing their traveling red uniforms, Bucks across the chest in white with white numerals. Checkered baby blue and white trim down the sides. Wildcats in their home whites. Wildcats across the chest in black numerals, red and black trim. Marcus Shellhorn will jump center alongside Hunter Bowers. Wildcats working left to right. Buccaneers right to left as we are set to go. Ball's in the air. Opening tap controlled by Central City. And we're underway. Matthew Klosterman into the front court. Going inside right away. Throws one up. Somehow gets it to go off the glass. All right, Matthew, I guess that's how we're going to start this one. Falling down, just chucks one up for dear life and puts it home. 2-0 Wildcats. Tristan Russell with the basketball for East Buck. Over to Cornell. Gets the top of the key to Kortenkamp. Swings it left wing. Over to Russell. Top of the key to Cornell. High post going to Bay. Out to Russell. He'll put up a triple. That is just off the rim. Grazes the rim. And rebounded by Matthew Klosterman. Matthew running into the front court. Has the top of the key. Looking to reset. Gets it over to Hansen. Second start of the year for Jaden Hansen. Goes to Aiden Klosterman inside. Loses it. Marcus Shellhorn can't save it. And they're going to say it was last touched by East Buchanan. The official said it touched the foot of a Buccaneer. So we'll stay with Central City. 22 on the shot clock. 45 seconds into this game. 2-0. Central City on top thanks to a Matthew Klosterman layup. Inbounds pass goes into the backcourt to Matthew Klosterman. And he crosses the timeline. Has the top of the key. Uses the screen from Benton going to his left. Has it left wing. Picks it up inside. Lob to Benton. Tipped out of there by Bay. Now Klosterman fakes a three. Driving inside. Spins. Kicks it out. Benton has it just inside the three-point line right wing. 6 on the shot clock. Out to Klosterman. Matthew uses the screen. 2 on the shot clock. Has to put one up. Does. Can't get it to go. But he's fouled. And Matthew Klosterman will shoot 2 free throws for Central City. Foul was called on Ryland Cornell. That is his first. And team foul number 1. Matthew nearly 80% from the free throw line this season. He will shoot 2. The sophomore left-handed point guard puts up the first free throw. That one is perfect. He's got all 3 Wildcat points. They lead 3-0. And he will get one more. Just over a minute gone. 3-0 Central City. Matthew can't make it 4-0. That one rattles out. And he makes 1 of 2. Tristan Russell bringing it up the floor for East Buchanan. Buccaneers 4-3 on the year. 3-2 in conference play. Same as Central City. Kortenkamp has it right wing. Skips it over to Cornell, top of the key. Back to Kortenkamp. Goes high post. Bay with a little floater from the free throw line. No good. Hansen pulls in the rebound. Matthew Klosterman looking to run. Up ahead to Aiden Klosterman. Left open. Right wing triple on the way. You betcha. Aiden Klosterman brings home the triple. It's 6-0 thanks to the Klosterman boys. Cornell into the front court for East Buck. Goes high post to Bowers. Swing over to Russell. Has it in the right corner. Dribbling up, now right wing. Skips over to Kortenkamp. Now top of the key to Cornell. Back to Kortenkamp. He's a sharpshooter for them, and he drains the three-pointer from the left wing. Dalton Kortenkamp gets the Buccaneers on the board. 6-3 Central City. Just over 2 minutes gone in this game. Klosterman top of the key, uses a screen from Shellhorn, driving inside, lays it up off the window, and that is good. Matthew Klosterman has 5 early ones. It's 8-3. Tristan Russell into the front court for East Buck. Over right wing to Kortenkamp. Top of the key to Cornell. Cornell driving inside, stops, puts up a floater just over the outreaching arm of Benton, but no good, and Benton secures the rebound. Klosterman into the front court. Stops left wing, now goes behind the back. Spin moving inside, puts it up. That floater is going to get the friendly roll, puts it home. 7 quick ones for Matthew Klosterman. It's 10-3 Central City. 5:20 to go in the opening quarter of play. Wildcats in a 2-3 zone defense. They go high post. Bowers put up a jumper for the Buccaneers. Free throw line jumper is no good. And it's rebounded by Hansen. Klosterman down to the other Klosterman. Aiden thought about a three. Now over to Matthew, top of the key. Uses the screen from Benton. Stops, puts up a triple. Straight on three. No, it rattles out. Nearly a quick 10 for Matthew. He's still got 7, and it's 10-3. Russell into the front court. Stops, skips it over. Right wing. Kortenkamp nearly left alone, but Aiden recovered fast enough to prevent the shot attempt. Now they'll go back to Kortenkamp right wing. Skips it over. Hansen nearly steals it. Russell has it instead, going inside. Dump down to Bowers. He will lay it up. That is good. Hunter Bowers gets the layup to go. It's 10-5 Central City. Leading here, 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Matthew Klosterman has it on the right wing. Over to Aiden Klosterman. Fakes a straight on three. Going inside. Stops when he gets there. Little give to Benton. He will throw up a wild shot. Wanted the foul, didn't get one. Rebounded by Russell. Pass down to Bay. Kicks it out. Tipped by Benton. Trying to secure the steal. Cannot do so. Last touch by Benton. Will stay with the Buccaneers. 4:10 to go in the opening quarter. 10-5. Central City with 29 on the shot clock for East Buck. Ryland Cornell will throw it in. Does so to Tristan Russell. Russell has it right wing. Dribbling left. Uses a screen from Bowers. Gives it over to Bay, who will bring it out top of the key, looking to reset this Buccaneer offense. Russell dribbling left. Goes inside. Lays one up. Leaves it short off front of the rim. No good. Rebound by the Buccaneers. Cornell picks it up. Three-pointer on the way from Kortenkamp. That one's no good. Too strong off the backboard. Matthew Klosterman rebounds. Matthew looking to pick up the pace. Now pulls it back out. Has it left wing. Looking to run the offense here. Going inside. Nice drive. Lays it up. Good finish by Matthew Klosterman. Stays with it. Powers through. He's got 9 of the Wildcats' 12. It's 12-5. Very fast start for Matthew here tonight. Averages 13 tonight. He's already got 9. A little over halfway through our opening quarter. Three-pointer on the way from Cornell. Rattles out. No good. Bowers with the offensive board. He goes back up. No, it's a pass out to Bay. Skip over to Russell right wing. Top of the key to Bay. He gives a little handoff. Now a swing pass over to Cornell. Top of the key to Kortenkamp. Back to Cornell. He's open. Left wing triple on the way. That is no good off front of the rim. Rebounded by Matthew Klosterman. Matthew into the front court. 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Matthew spins, puts it up on the inside. That is good. Matthew Klosterman already has 11. It's 14-5. Just under 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Kortenkamp has the basketball right wing for East Buchanan. Over top of the key to Cornell, left wing to Russell. Skip pass, Kortenkamp right wing. Thought about a three. We've got something inside, and we got a turnover on East Buck. I didn't see an indication, but looks like they called an offensive foul on Hunter Bowers. That'll be his first, team's second, and it's Wildcat basketball. First sub of the game is a Central City substitution. Braden Rickles is into the game, and he replaces Marcus Shellhorn. Rickles has started most of the games this year, averages 3 points per night. Matthew Klosterman into the front court for Central City. Has the top of the key, uses a screen from Rickles going inside. Drives in, it's blocked. Blocked by Kortenkamp, rebounded by Bay. Bay into the front court, has the top of the key, gives it over to Kortenkamp. Standing at the volleyball line. 2:15 to go in the opening quarter. High post to Bowers. Goes into the corner to Russell. Fakes the three, going baseline, now stops, picks up his dribble. Skips it over. This is Noah Valenzuela entered into the game at that last timeout. Valenzuela has it right wing, looking around. Gives the top of the key to Russell. Back to Valenzuela, right wing. 12 on the shot clock, just under 2 to go in the first quarter. Russell will put up a three-pointer. That one's too strong off the back iron, and Jaden Hanson pulls in the rebound. Way down court pass. Matthew Klosterman to Braden Rickles, but he couldn't secure it. And that'll be a turnover. Goes back to East Buchanan. We got a timeout called by the Buccaneers. Coach Ersland wants a full 60-second timeout. 1:47 to go in the opening quarter. It's Central City 14, East Buchanan 5. So for Central City, Matthew Klosterman has 11 of the 14, so far. Aiden Klosterman added 3. For East Buchanan, 3 points from Dalton Kortenkamp and 2 from Hunter Bowers. Buccaneers have 2 fulls and 2 30s remaining. Coach Turner of the Wildcats has not called the timeout. Still has all 3 fulls and both 30s. We've got some time here. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is here to provide the kind of services that keep community in banking. That means working with local businesses to provide funding to help them grow and giving guidance and support when you're ready to purchase your first home. Heartland Bank, we're here for you. As always, big thank you to Heartland Bank for their great support. A little under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter, 14-5. Central City leading East Buchanan. Wildcats back on the floor. The Klostermans with Hanson, Rickles, and Benton. As Valenzuela inbounds to Russell for East Buck. Buccaneer basketball as Tristan Russell walks it up, crosses into the front court. Wildcats still in that 2-3 defensively. Top of the key to Valenzuela, now left wing to top of the key to Kortenkamp. High post, Bowers nearly loses the basketball. Into the corner to Russell, going baseline, puts up a floater. Too strong on that one, and it's rebounded by Hanson. Poked out of bounds by Valenzuela of the Buccaneers. And we'll go to Central City. Hanson inbounds the basketball to Matthew Klosterman, who brings it up for the Wildcats. Matthew already in double figures with 11. Pull-up jumper on the way. That is too strong off the back iron. Benton races down the offensive board, tries to go inside to Rickles. It's poked loose by Russell and taken away by Bowers. Russell into the front court to Kortenkamp. Top of the key to Russell. Goes inside, dump down to Bowers. His layup is blocked out of play by Hanson. No, it stays. No, it is going to be out of play. Jaden Hanson sends that one out of play. Big time block by the junior. Buccaneer basketball underneath their own hoop. Russell has it in the corner. Picks it up right wing, top of the key to Bowers. Bowers gives it back to Russell, down to 15 on the shot clock, under a minute to go in the opening quarter. Kortenkamp has the basketball, left wing to Russell. 9 on the shot clock. Bay swings it over to Kortenkamp. He'll take a right wing 3. That one is good. Dalton Kortenkamp knocks down his second triple of the game. It's 14-8. Wildcats will walk it up. About a second difference between the shot and game clock, so they'll hold for essentially 1. Matthew Klosterman has it right wing. Looking to go downhill. Goes inside, and he is fouled. So Matthew Klosterman earns his way to the free throw line once again. Shot clock now off. 23 seconds to go in the quarter. That is team foul number 3 on East Buck. Looks like they got Dalton Kortenkamp for that one. That is his first. Matthew will shoot 2. It's 1 of 2 so far tonight. Nearly 80% on the season as he puts in the first. He's got a dozen already as Marcus Shellhorn back into the ball game. He replaces Jaden Hanson. 15-8 Central City, 23 seconds to go in the opening quarter of play. Second free throw on the way for Matthew Klosterman. That one is perfect as well. He's got 13 here in the opening quarter. 20 seconds for the Buccaneers. Russell has it into the front court. Has the top of the key. Goes high post to Bowers. Dump down to Bay. Nearly blocked by Shellhorn, but Chance Bay does get the basket to go. His first after 28 last night. Time for another shot for Central City. Matthew Klosterman, right wing. 5 seconds to go. Driving inside. Kicks it out to Rickles. Over to Benton, top of the key. Takes one dribble. Chucks up a three-pointer. He can't quite get it to go. Off the rim. No good. And that will do it for the opening quarter of play. Played 8 minutes of basketball here in Central City. It's a 6-point ball game. Central City 16 and East Buchanan 10. Let's take a look at the scoring numbers here. Through 1 quarter of play, Matthew Klosterman certainly came to play tonight. Averages 13.1 per game. He's already got 13 in that first quarter alone. The other 3 points were added by a triple from Aiden Klosterman. 10 points for East Buchanan, 6 of which came from Dalton Kortenkamp and a pair of triples. The other 2 points each for Chance Bay and Hunter Bowers. So a 6-point lead for Central City after a quarter of play. Wildcats are trying to run away with that one just in the first quarter alone, but East Buck fought back and got a little bit closer here entering the second quarter. What a performance from Matthew Klosterman in that first quarter. Can't understate that. 13 points in 8 minutes of play from the sophomore point guard. Will be East Buchanan basketball to begin the second quarter. Wildcats back on the floor with the Klostermans, Shellhorn, Rickles, and Benton. Buccaneers with Kortenkamp, Cornell, Bay, Bowers, and Russell. Kortenkamp will inbound it for East Buck. He had 2 triples and was their leading scorer in the first quarter. Inbounds pass goes into the backcourt to Russell, and the second quarter is underway as Tristan Russell crosses into the front court. Shellhorn out there providing some pressure. Wildcats mixing up their defense here, playing an aggressive form of zone defense. Skip pass over to Russell, right wing. Pass not intended for Bowers, but it works out just fine as he grabs it, puts it up, and lays it in. He's got 4. It's 16-12. Buccaneers back within 4. Aiden Klosterman has it left wing. Thought about a triple. Now goes top of the key to Matthew Klosterman. Back to Aiden on the left wing. Now right back to Matthew. Over to Aiden Klosterman. He will take a left wing 3. That is short off front of the rim and rebounded by Russell. Buccaneers the chance to get back within a possession here on this trip down the floor. 16-12 Central City. As they go inside to Bowers. Loses it but gets it back. Kicks it out to Russell. Takes one dribble, picks it up. Over to Cornell, right wing. Now back to Russell, top of the key, driving inside. Tipped by Benton, stolen away by Matthew Klosterman. Matthew kicks it down to Rickles, who just looked in time. Back to Matthew, right wing. Top of the key to Benton. Fakes the triple. Going inside, driving, puts up a floater off the glass, and that is good. Central City's leading scorer, Mekhi Benton's in the book here tonight. He's got 2. It's 18-12. Going to the corner to B. He will take a 3-pointer nearly out of bounds, very far into the corner that time, and it's off the mark. Rebounded by Benton, who will run it himself. Skips it over to Matthew Klosterman, left wing. 6.5 to go in the second quarter, 16-12. Thought it would be 18-12. Yeah, there it is, 18-12 just popped up. Aiden Klosterman goes inside to Benton. His little floater's good as well. Another trip down the floor, another floater for Mekhi Benton. Wildcats lead it by 8, 20-12. Benton with baskets on back-to-back possessions. They're going scoreless for the opening quarter. Russell has the top of the key. Swings it over, right corner to Cornell. Picks it up, back out to Russell. Back to Cornell in the right corner. Skips it over left wing to Kortenkamp. He will take a triple. Rickles, backed off. Can't do that on Kortenkamp. He's already got 2, make it 3. It's 20-15, and Kortenkamp's got 9 on 3 3-pointers. Klosterman has it stolen away by Cornell. 2-on-1 fast break as numbers come for the Buccaneers. Kortenkamp gets the layup after getting the offensive rebound. He's got 11. It's 20-17, right back to a 3-point game. Inside to Benton. He goes up. That is no good. Rebounded by Bay for a moment, and now they're going to get a foul, I believe, on Benton. That'll be Central City's first and Benton's first as Lucas Greif is into the game for the first time. He replaces Aiden Klosterman. Mekhi Benton whistled for his first foul. Team foul number 1 as well. New sub into the game for East Buck as well. Graham Erickson, a 6-foot senior, in for the first time. And Noah Valenzuela also back into the game. Kortenkamp running the point guard here. Has the top of the key. Swings it over left wing to Cornell. Uses a screen. Tries to get it to Valenzuela and does. Short corner, now bringing it out right wing. 15 on the shot clock. Just over 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. 20-17 Central City. Erickson with the basketball. Gives it to Cornell. Gets by the defender. Floater is too long, but Shellhorn couldn't secure the rebound. We'll stay with East Buck. The shot clock did not stop. It should be about 6 seconds or so. We'll see what they put it back as. It should have been 6 seconds. It did not hit the rim, and clock unfortunately did not stop. We'll see how close. There we go. Perfect. Right back at 6 seconds. So Buccaneer ball, 6 in the shot clock. Kortenkamp will throw it in from underneath the hoop. 5 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the second quarter, 2017 Central City. Kortenkamp looking for an option. Gets it into Erickson inside, out to Kortenkamp, fakes the three, down to 4 on the shot clock. Step back three is no good, but a travel was called beforehand regardless. So a turnover from Dalton Kortenkamp, and it goes back to Central City. It's a battle of the big scorers here tonight. Matthew Klosman with 13 for Central City. Dalton Kortenkamp with 11 for East Buck. Not even halfway through our second quarter. Matthew Klosman has the top of the key. It's a 3-2 being run by the Buccaneers at the moment. Over to Lucas Greif, left wing, driving inside, out to Benton. Left corner, three on the way, short, but Rickles is right there, gets the offensive board, and then puts it back in for his first basket. 22-17, Wildcats by 5. Kortenkamp has it left wing. Dribbling up, we got a foul on the inside. Believe it went against Central City. No, it was called on East Buchanan. That'll be a Buccaneer turnover on the foul, their fourth. Offensive foul was called on Chance Bay, his first. It'll be Wildcat basketball. He's got a sub into the game. Ben Hesner, a 5'10 senior, averaging 1 point per game, in for the first time for East Buchanan. Matthew Klosterman takes the inbounds pass, and he crosses into the front court. Right wing to Rickles, but the bounce pass was not handled cleanly by Rickles. That's another turnover, and it goes back to East Buchanan. 4:28 to go in the second quarter. 22-17, Central City over the Buccaneers. As Aiden Klosterman's back into the game, he will replace Braden Rickles. Valenzuela inbounds to Russell, and he brings it up the floor for East Buck, walking it up, and now crossing into the front court. Gets it over to Kortenkamp, right wing. He's got 3 threes already in this game. Goes inside to Bay. Open look at the hoop. He lays it up and puts it down. Chance Bay with the layup. He's got 4 after 28 last night in the overtime win. It's 22-19. Buccaneers back within 3. Aiden Klosterman left wing. Skips it over to Matthew Klosterman, top of the key. Going inside to Benton. Fakes a shot. Takes the dribble out to Aiden Klosterman. He'll take a three-pointer from the left corner. That is good. Aiden Klosterman knocks down a 3. His second of the game. He's got a half dozen. 25-19. Wildcats on top by 6 points. Just under 4 minutes to go until the half. Kortenkamp has it for a moment. Loses it. Was not tipped, just didn't handle the basketball, was thinking about where he was going to go before he went there, and turns it over. It's Wildcat basketball. Matthew will inbound in front of his own bench, does so to Aiden, right back to Matthew, and Klosterman crosses into the front court. Has the top of the key over to Aiden Klosterman, left wing. Back to Matthew Klosterman, over to Greif. Greif going inside, driving baseline, picks it up, and they're going to get a travel. They say Lucas Greif traveled. Matthew Klosterman drains a triple after the whistle, but does not count. Goes back to East Buck. 3:29 to go in the second quarter, 25-19, Central City. Tristan Russell into the front court for East Buck. Right wing to Kortenkamp. Dribbling up, double team comes inside to Bay. Skips it out. Hesner will take a free throw line jumper. That's off the mark, and it's rebounded by Matthew Klosterman. Klosterman looking to run things, now nearly loses his dribble and stops. Over to Aiden Klosterman into the corner to Greif. Back to Aiden, right wing, top of the key to Matthew. He'll take a straight on 3. That is good. Matthew Klosterman drains the 3. Give him 16. It's 28-19. Wildcats with their biggest lead of the night. Russell into the front court for East Buck. Guarded by Aiden Klosterman, driving inside, takes it to the hoop, can't get it to go. Rebound by Bay, his putback's no good, but he's fouled and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Foul was called on Matthew Klosterman, his first. The scoreboard says team first, but I believe that was team second. Chance Bay will shoot 2. He's a 71% free throw shooter on the year, 4 points here tonight. His first trip to the line so far in this game as he leaves the first one short off the front of the rim, and it is no good. David Munyakazi into the game for the first time tonight for Central City as he will replace Makai Benton. Munyakazi, a 6'1 senior, averaging just over a point with 2 rebounds per game. Second free throw from Bay is good. He's got 5. It's 28-20. Matthew Klosterman brings it up for Central City. Has it top of the key. Picks it up over to Greif, right wing. Back to Matthew, top of the key. Thought about a 3. Faked it, now driving inside. Out to Aiden Klosterman. Now back to Matthew, top of the key. Back to Aiden in the left wing. He will take a 3-pointer. That is good. Aiden Klosterman drains another. He's been shooting it hot as of late. Hit 4 last night. He's got 3 already tonight. 31-20. Wildcats have their first double-digit lead, leading by 11. 2:15 until the half. Valenzuela gives it over to Hesner, top of the key. Bay will take a three-pointer just right of straight on, rattles out, no good, and it's rebounded by Matthew Klosterman. Matthew into the front court, has the top of the key, driving inside, puts it up on the inside, blocked out of bounds. A lot of congestion in there inside the painted area. That one will stay with Central City, 28 on the shot clock. Matthew to inbound, does so to David Munyakazi. But a stoppage first will stay with Central City. Matthew will inbound it once again. Gives it, trying to go to David Munyakazi this time, but Dalton Kortenkamp guarding Matthew, got a foot on it, kicked ball. Stays with Central City. Matthew again going to inbound. Gets it into Aiden Klosterman in the corner. Open look from three, but he can't get that one to go, and it's rebounded by Tristan Russell. Russell going into the front court for East Buchanan. Taking his time, bringing it up, has it right wing. Uses a screen from Hesner, goes the other way. Driving inside, both Klostermans are there. Aiden rebounds the miss, gives it to Matthew. Matthew has it left wing, give to Aiden. Right back to Matthew. 90 seconds to go until the half. Matthew, great drive inside, couldn't finish, however. Fight for the rebound, but they're going to get a foul inside called on David Munyakazi. His first, team foul number 2. Will be Central City ball. Makai Benton back into the game for the Wildcats. He replaces Marcus Shellhorn. Also had Bowers and Cornell back into the game for East Buck. As Tristan Russell walks it up for the Buccaneers. 1:27 to go in the second quarter. 31-20 Central City. Cornell has it left wing for the Buccaneers. Dribbling to his right. Kicks it out to Kortenkamp right wing. Now uses the screen. Dribbling left. Top of the key to Bay. Bay in trouble, now gives it to Russell left wing, uses the screen. Skips it over to Kortenkamp right wing, fakes the three, driving inside, now step back over to Bowers. 7 on the shot clock. Bowers skips it over to Cornell. Then we got 3-second violation as it looks like Chance Bay was inside the painted area for too long. Turnover goes back to the Wildcats, just under a minute to go until the halftime break. It's 31-20 Central City. Matthew Klosterman walking it up the floor for Central City. Chance to get a 2-for-1 here if they use the clock right. Lucas Greif has a left wing, back to Klosterman, top of the key. Back to Greif in the left wing. Goes inside to Benton. He's triple teamed in there. Aiden Klosterman gets an open look from 3. He puts it in. Aiden Klosterman knocks down another. He's got 12 on 4 triples. It's 34-20. About a 3 or 4 second difference between the shot and game clock as we get close to the half. Wildcats lead it by 14. Cornell has it right wing, uses the screen. Driving inside and is fouled. I believe they got Lucas Greif for that one, and they did. That is his first. Team foul number 3. Shot clock is now off. Just under 23 seconds until we reach the halftime break here from Central City. Russell will inbound, does so to Kortenkamp. He's open, puts up a right wing 3. That's no good. Benton fighting for the rebound, keeps it in, gets it to Aiden Klosterman. He sends it down to Lucas Greif, but it's intercepted. A little behind the back save, gets it to Russell. And now the Buccaneers have a chance for one with 10 seconds to go. Russell has it right wing. Over to Cornell in the corner. Driving baseline. Goes up. His shot is no good, but he's fouled. Believe they're going to get Benton for it. Now this really brings the question of whether that foul from earlier counted, because they didn't put it on the board as a team foul, but I thought it's on indication that Makai got a foul earlier. Regardless, Cornell will shoot 2. As he gets the first, and they say that's Makai's first, I'll take their word for it. 34-21 Central City. As Cornell will shoot his second. He misses the second. Benton rebounds up to Greif. He will chuck a half-court shot at the buzzer. That misses everything, no good. And that will do it for the opening half of play here from Central City. So the Wildcats come out, shoot it very well. Both Klosterman brothers are having one of their best halves of the season here tonight. Halfway home in this one, and the Wildcats lead it by 13. It's Central City 34 and East Buchanan 21. So let's take a look at those first half numbers. First for Central City. Leading scorer was Matthew Klosterman. He already bettered his scoring average in the first 16 minutes. He had 16 points. Averages 13 per night. Aiden Klosterman added a dozen. He averages 10 points per night, so he's also over his scoring average. Makai Benton added 4 points. They came on back-to-back possessions. And Braden Rickles had a putback to get him 2 points to round out the Wildcats scoring. For East Buchanan, it was Dalton Kortenkamp leading the way. He had 11. Hit 3 threes and then had a putback layup off an offensive rebound. Chance Bay had 5. He leads the way with 16 points per night. The Buccaneers will need him to pick up his scoring pace if they want to try to get back here in the second half. And Hunter Bowers added 4 points. Ryland Cornell hit a free throw there just before the half for his 1 point. That is how we get to a halftime score of 34-21. We're in a whole lot of fouls to speak of in the first half. 4 team fouls on both teams, but nobody has more than 1. For the Wildcats, Matthew Klosterman, Makai Benton, David Munyakazi, and Lucas Greif all have 1. Same is true for the Buccaneers with Chance Bay, Hunter Bowers, Ryland Cornell, and Dalton Kortenkamp. So nobody in any sort of foul trouble through one half of play. See if we can get that to stay true in the second half of action coming up in a little over 8 minutes. Again, halfway through this one, it is Central City 34, East Buchanan 21, Wildcats leading by 13. After a great shooting half, Aiden Klosterman made, I think, 4 out of 5 threes he took. Matthew Klosterman added 16 points. Huge first quarter for Matthew, huge second quarter from Aiden. And they have led the way for Central City to take a double-digit lead into the break. Well, we've got a chance. Let's go ahead and give a shout-out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Tell your friends, family, and coworkers about Heartland Bank, and when they open a checking account with us, you'll both receive a special thank you gift. Referring online or on your mobile device is easy. Heartland Bank, a proud supporter of Central City Wildcat sports. And the website you can do that is hbtbank.com. It's www.hbtbank.com. For a friend, coworker, or anybody else, you'll receive a special thank you gift from our great supporters over at Heartland Bank. So a little over 7 minutes left in this halftime break. Wildcats leading the Buccaneers by 13. And with the girls not playing here tonight, mentioned their a little bit of illness going on in the girls' programs. They did not have the requisite numbers to field a competitive team here tonight. So they will postpone, and they plan to play at a later date this East Buck at Central City matchup. But here's what it looks like in the Tri-Rivers this week for the girls. I mentioned the boys in the open. 3 non-conference games last night for the girls. Central City went to Midland in the East versus West game. And the Wildcats, hampered by some of that illness I mentioned here, had some girls out, some girls playing sick. They fell to Midland by a final of 60-49. Over at South Winneshiek, East Buchanan came to town, and the Buccaneers had their way, winning that one 73-27. And Central Elkader went to Edgewood Colesburg, and the Warriors took down Edco by a final of 63-57. Here are the matchups tonight. In the Tri-Rivers West, East Buck at Central City, as I mentioned, is postponed to a later date. 3 games will be played. Maquoketa Valley is at North Lynn, Starmont is at Edgewood Colesburg, and Alburnett is at Springville. In the East, North Cedar is at Lisbon, Easton Valley is at Prince of Peace, and Calamus Wheatland is at Marquette Catholic. If you want my picks, I would go North Lynn over Mac Valley, both boys and girls. Edco over Starmont, boys and girls. And we'll do Alburnett boys, but Springville girls in the Alburnett-Springville matchup. Although I think Alburnett-Springville girls will be a very close game. So these Bucks back on the floor first. They're getting some shots up on the basket to my right. They have some work to do here in the second half, trailing it by 13. 16 minutes through this contest. With those matchups I mentioned, here is a look at the updated Tri-Rivers West standings. These are according to Varsity Bound. I do notice some discrepancies, like it says some teams like us, for example, have only played 5 games, while as Springville and Alburnett, among most others, have played 6. But here's how it's listed. Starmont's the only winless team in conference play. They're 0-6. Central City 1-4. Edgewood Colesburg is 2-4. Both Maquoketa Valley and East Buchanan are 3-3. Alburnett is 4-2. Springville 5-1. And North Lynn is the lone unbeaten. They are a perfect 5-0. Reminder of the Tri-Rivers West standings. Starmont and Edgewood Colesburg are 0-5. Somebody's going to win their first conference game and their first overall game of the year tonight, because Starmont is at Edco, so something's got to give there. A couple of winless squads, both overall and in the conference. Springville is 1-4. Central City and East Buchanan, the two teams here tonight, are both 3-2. Somebody's going to go to 500. Well, somebody will get a couple of games above that mark. Maquoketa Valley and Alburnett are both 4-1, although Mac Valley has to go to North Lynn tonight. Certainly could be in trouble to fall to 4-2. And North Lynn is a perfect 5-0. So if things go according to plan, North Lynn would go to 6-0. Alburnett would go to 5-1. Mac Valley would fall to 4-2. Central City's on their way to 4-2. They could tie Maquoketa Valley in the conference standings, but they need to play 16 more quality minutes of basketball. While East Buck could fall to 3-3. Springville projected to fall to 1-5 after tonight. And Edco and Starmont, something's got to give. Somebody's going to be 1-5, and somebody is going to be 0-6 after tonight's action concludes. A little under 3.5 minutes to go in the halftime break. Buccaneers are already out there getting their shots up. Wildcats still in the locker room. Coach Turner talking to his team. I mentioned a couple of first-year coaches tonight. On Friday, the Wildcats went to Alburnett and faced a 30th-year coach in Coach Christofferson of the Pirates. Of course, Coach Turner in his first year with the Wildcats. East Buchanan's Troy Ersland is in his first year with the Buccaneers. Again, the Wildcats are 5-4 overall, 3-2 in the Tri-Rivers West. But those 4 losses have come to high-quality programs. A couple of 3A losses to Union and Independence. And they're only 2 much bigger class losses, if you will, are to North Lynn, a big and always dominant 1A, and Alburnett, a 2A that is in the Tri-Rivers and is also very, very good. East Buchanan 4-3. Most recently, winners last night over South Winneshiek, 71-61 in overtime, as the Wildcats are back on the floor. After the regulation 4 quarters were up over at South Winneshiek High School last night, it was a tie ball game at 57 apiece, but the Buccaneers outscored South Winn 14-4 in the overtime period, and therefore got the 71-61 victory to go above 500 at 4-3 overall. Of course, that was a non-conference game, no bearing on their conference standings, just like Central City's East versus West game with Midland last night did not affect their conference standings. Remember, in the Tri-Rivers, you pick a West Side champion and an East Side champion. Those two games do not intermix. So about 90 seconds before we get some second half basketball underway. Central City just needs to come out, play like they did in the first half, or at least anything close, and they should be okay. Buccaneers, on the other hand, need somebody to step up. Dalton Kortenkamp was on fire for parts of that first half. He had 11 points, 9 threes, and a putback layup. They need somebody else to step up and help out Kortenkamp to be a second scoring option. Chance Bay averages over 16 points a game. He only had 5 first half points. Other than that, Hunter Bowers had 4, and Ryland Cornell had 1. A couple of notable non-scorers, or the big notable non-scorer, Tristan Russell averages 9 a game, did not score in the first 16 minutes. Possession arrow is favoring Central City to begin the second half, so they will get the basketball first. Wildcats will work right to left to begin the third quarter. Buccaneers will work left to right as both teams are over on their bench. And we're going to get the second half started here in a little over 30 seconds. Central City with the advantage here at the halfway point, 34-21. And we're about set to get the second half underway. Remember, no girls game tonight. Some illness in the program resulted in a lack of numbers sufficient to participate in the varsity basketball contest. So that game has been postponed. The boys are the second game after the JV boys who got the win earlier tonight, and they will be the final game of the night. Hanson with the Klostermans, Shellhorn, and Benton out there for Central City. It's Bay, Russell, Bowers, Cornell, and Kortenkamp. Starters for both sides out there on the floor. Hanson will inbound it for the Wildcats. He does so to Matthew Klosterman. We're underway for second half action. Matthew had 16 first half points. Dribbling to his right, gets it out to Benton. Benton skips it over to Hanson, driving inside. Hanson gets to the lane, puts it up off the glass. That is good. Jaden Hanson gets his first basket of the contest. Averages less than a point per game. He's got 2 here, 36-21, excuse me. 20 seconds gone in the third quarter. Nice inside pass. Shellhorn going for the block, but Cornell stayed down, misses the layup, however. Matthew Klosterman rebounds and runs. Trying to go inside, steps back, keeps his dribble. Over to Benton, top of the key, driving inside. Stops in the paint, puts it up. That is going to be good. Off the back iron, rolls off front of the rim and goes through. Makai Benton has 6 here tonight. Wildcats with the first 4 of the second half. It's 38-21. Bowers gives it over. Corton Camp will take a three-pointer. Misses everything, but it's rebounded by Cornell. Air balls are the hardest shots to rebound if you're the defense. Cornell has it right wing, dribbling left. Guarded by Aiden Klosterman. Picks up his dribble at the elbow, gives it over to Bay. 10 on the shot clock. Buccaneers have to go here. Russell has it left wing, dribbling right. Goes inside, and looked like he walked, and he did. Traveling violation is called with 3 on the shot clock. We'll go back to Central City. They've extended their lead to 38-21. Jaden Hansen will inbound the ball for Central City. Does so to Matthew Klosterman, who jogs it up the floor. 6:45 to go in the third. 38-21 Central City. Matthew Klosterman has it right wing. Gets it out to Benton, top of the key. Fakes the triple, now takes the three-pointer. That's too strong off the back iron. Rebounded by Cornell, who gives it over to Russell. Russell slowly jogging it, now just walking it up the floor. Just now crosses into the front court in that CC logo at midcourt. Over to Cornell on the right wing. Uses the screen from Bowers, going left, picks it up at the free throw line. Out to Bay. Gets it in the left wing to Russell. Reading the defense, now driving. Skip pass over to Cornell. Right wing driving inside, and they foul on the floor before the shot attempt is called on Central City. That is their first foul of the second half, and it went against Aiden Klosterman. His first personal foul of the game. Fresh shot clock at 35 seconds, and Tristan Russell will throw it in for the Buccaneers from underneath their basket. Russell looking around, gets it into Cornell. Now he swings it over to Corton Camp, top of the key. He will take a three-pointer. That one is no good. Follows his shot, gets his own rebound. His putback is good. Dalton Corton Camp follows his missed 3, puts it back up, and he's got 13 to lead the Buccaneers. Full court press being applied by the Bucks. Wildcats break it inside to Benton. He puts it up and puts down the layup. Give the assist to Shellhorn. Benton's got 8, 40-23. Wildcats extending their lead here. Russell into the front court for East Buck, guarded by Matthew Klosterman. Has a couple of options of a screener, doesn't use either, gives it over to Corton Camp right wing. He uses the screen, tries to find Bowers, taken away by Benton. 2-on-2, fast break. Benton puts it up, the layup's good, but a foul was called on the floor before the shot. That'll be East Buck's first of the half, and it is called on Dalton Corton Camp. That is his second, first player with 2 fouls here in this game. 40-23 Wildcats, 5:25 to go in the third. Matthew Klosterman will inbound the ball. Tries to go inside to Benton. Instead tries to go up high, but it's taken away by Bowers. Up ahead to Cornell. Has some trouble with the pass. Now gets it out to Russell. Bowers instead takes it. Now he does give it to Russell. Has it right wing. Russell dribbling left. Picks it up. Over to Bay. Fakes a 3 from the left wing. Gives it over to Corton Camp. Driving baseline. Brings it out to the left corner. Tries to go inside to Bowers. Connects with him. He steps through. Puts it up. And they're going to get a foul on the inside. Marcus Shellhorn doesn't like it, but have to accept it, unfortunately. Team foul number 2 on the Wildcats. And it did go on Marcus. That is personal foul number 1 on Marcus Shellhorn. And Hunter Bowers will shoot 2. He's a 40% free throw shooter so far this season. Has 4 points here tonight. First free throw is no good. Rolls off front of the rim, back iron, and out. He will get 1 more. Second free throw on the way from Bowers. That one is good. Nearly short off front of the rim, but instead takes a roll through. Bowers makes 1 of 2. He's got 5. Full court press is broken by the Wildcats. Shellhorn into the front court, but loses the basketball. Poked from behind by Cornell. Bay, his pass is tipped by Klosterman. Aiden gets it and takes it away. Gives it over to Matthew Klosterman into the front court. Matthew stops in the paint. Fakes the jumper. Now will take the jumper and gets it to go. Good patience from the sophomore point guard. Gets up in the air, or gets his defender up in the air, I should say, and puts down the jumper. He's got 18 to lead all scorers. Russell has the top of the key, dribbling left. Looking to go inside, stops into the corner of the Corton Camp, going baseline, dump down to Bay, shot inside, no good. Gets his own rebound, his putback, a little fall away floater, no good. Benton fighting for the rebound, but couldn't secure it, goes out of bounds. Will stay with the Buccaneers, 32 on the shot clock. 4:23 to go in the third quarter. It's 42-24. And now they do put a full 35 back on the shot clock. Russell will inbound for East Buck. Does so to Bowers, uses the backcourt, which is allowed. And Bowers will bring it up for East Buchanan. Point guard Russell finds him in half court and helps him out. Now Russell with the basketball right wing, looking to set a play here. Rejects the screen, driving inside on Matthew Klosterman. Good take by Russell, his first basket of the game. Averages 9 a night. Finally scores here halfway through our third quarter. Marcus Shellhorn, open corner three on the way. That is off the mark, and it's rebounded by Bowers. It's 42-26, 3:55 to go in the third quarter. Wildcats on top of East Buck. We got a foul going to be called on Matthew Klosterman. That is his second, and it's team foul number 3. A couple of subs here for the Bucks, as Noah Valenzuela is back into the game, as is Ben Hesner. Valenzuela will inbound for East Buchanan as Corton Camp exited the game. Russell has it top of the key, driving inside. Dumps it down, but it's not handled properly by Bay. That'll be a turnover. Goes back to Central City as Braden Rickles is back into the contest for the Wildcats. He replaces Jaden Hansen. Lucas Greif also makes his way to the scorer's table. He is in to replace Marcus Shellhorn, so Wildcats going with a more guard-heavy lineup, try to break this press. Rickles inbounds to Matthew Klosterman. Matthew gives it over to Aiden Klosterman, trying to break the press. Pass is tipped by Valenzuela, stolen by Russell. Buccaneers running, dumped down to Valenzuela, but he couldn't handle it. It goes out of play. That is a turnover from the Buccaneers. And it will be Central City ball once again. This Buccaneer press hasn't worked too badly. They've definitely sped up the Wildcats, which is what you're mainly trying to do with some full court pressure. Wildcats will have to handle a little bit better. Matthew Klosterman. Double team comes, skips it over to Benton into the front court. Driving inside, picks it up, out to Rickles right wing. He will take a three-pointer. No good, too strong off the backboard, and rebounded by Chance Bay. Tristan Russell running the one for East Buck. He has it on the right wing, guarded by Matthew Klosterman. Dribbling to the left. Rickles switches onto him. Puts up a floater in the paint, and that is good. Russell gets his second basket of the night. He's got 4. Buccaneers trying to get back into it, 42-28. Wildcats do with a comfortable lead. Benton driving inside, lays it up with the right hand, gets the layup to go. Benton quietly having himself a really nice game. He's got 10 points. It's 44-28, Wildcats on top. Russell gives it over to Bay, well behind the three-point line. Over to Valenzuela left wing. Bay sets the screen, which Valenzuela uses. Now picks up his dribble, top of the key to Russell, beyond the volleyball line, down to 15 on the shot clock. Russell driving inside, puts up a floater. That is going to rattle off the rim, no good, and Matthew Klosterman rebounds. Matthew looking to run here. Stops, fakes, now goes the other way. Driving inside, lays it up, it's good, and the contact for the foul. Matthew Klosterman gets it to go. He's got 20, and he will shoot 1. That is team foul number 2 on the Buccaneers. It's called on Valenzuela. That is his first. And Matthew Klosterman will shoot 1. Free throw on the way from Matthew is good. The horn sounded, but I think they're going to let it play on. And we'll see if they count the free throw. It looks like they will. They will count the free throw. Matthew's got 21. It's 46-28. I believe it should be 47-28. Central City, now they added the extra point. Wildcats on top of the Buccaneers. Tristan Russell walking into the front court for the Bucks. Has it right wing. Dribbling around. Skips it over to Bowers on the left wing. 2:15 to go in the quarter, 47-28. Bowers picks it up. Benton falls off his feet, now gets back up in time. Bowers has it blocked from behind by Benton, but they're going to call a foul. Benton touched nothing but the basketball, which unfortunately seems to be a trend for Mackay. I've seen that happen several times this year. Gets called for a foul. Touched nothing but the leather of the ball. And looks like the foul was actually on Matthew. I didn't see what Matthew did on that play, but they're going to get him for a foul. And it's his third. The first free throw's on the way and is no good from Bowers. David Munyakazi back into the game for Central City, and in for the first time is Dayton Price. Dayton coming off of a very nice JV game earlier tonight, getting his first action here at the varsity level. 47-28 is our scores. Bowers' second free throw is up, rattles out, no good. Benton can't secure the rebound. It's out of play off of Benton. and it will stay with East Buchanan as the Wildcats couldn't pull in a board. So Valenzuela will inbound for the Buccaneers, does so to Bay in the corner, gives to Valenzuela left corner. He'll take a three-pointer. That is good. Noah Valenzuela, a 21% three-point shooter, knocks in the contested corner three. It's 47-31. Lucas Greif into the game, handling the pressure with Matthew Klosterman up to Munyakazi. Has it right wing, picks it up. Gives it over to Matthew Klosterman. Fakes the three, up to Munyakazi, now over to Greif. Makai Benton with the basketball. It's taken away by Valenzuela. He will put it up. No, he didn't get a shot up. Matthew Klosterman didn't touch it. It's just a turnover as Valenzuela was anticipating the contact, so it will be Central City ball, but we've got a timeout first. Timeout called by Coach Turner. It is a full 60-second timeout, and with, well, they already put the time for the timeout up on the board. So not sure exactly how much time left, but late third quarter, it's Central City 47 and East Buchanan 31. Both teams have used a 60-second timeout. They have 2 fulls and 2 30s remaining. So Matthew Klosterman leading all scorers with 21 points. Aiden Klosterman's added 12. Makai Benton has 10. Braden Rickles has added 2 for Central City, as has Jaden Hansen. For East Buck, Dalton Kortenkamp has 13. Chance Bay has 5, as does Hunter Bowers. Tristan Russell has 4, and Noah Valenzuela has 3. Only real foul trouble for the Wildcats. Matthew Klosterman has 3. Nobody else has more than 1. For East Buck, Dalton Kortenkamp has 2, and nobody else has more than 1 foul. Buccaneers with Bay, Hesner, Valenzuela, Bowers, and Cornell. Wildcats with Greif, Matthew Klosterman, Benton, Price, and Munyakazi. 1:38 to go in the third, 47-31, Central City. Benton to inbound, does so to David Munyakazi in the backcourt, crosses into the front court, and nearly loses it, but keeps it from going over and back and gets it over to Matthew Klosterman. Matthew has the top of the key, right wing to Benton. Benton goes inside to Munyakazi. Nice move, puts it up, no good, but the foul is called, and David Munyakazi earns himself a trip to the free throw line where he has not missed yet this season. That is East Buchanan's second foul as a team, and it was called on Chance Bay. It's listed as his first, but I believe that is his second. Munyakazi will shoot 2. First one is on the way and good. David's first point of the night. A couple subs here for East Buck. Dalton Kortenkamp is back in the game, and for the first time, Riley Melke, 6'4 junior, is into the contest. He's played in 5 games with 1 start. This is his 6th game. Averages half a point, 1.5 rebounds per night. Munyakazi no good on the second free throw, makes 1 of 2, and it's rebounded by Kortenkamp. Kortenkamp into the front court for East Buck, walking it up. 1:15 to go in the third, 48-31 Central City. Kortenkamp uses the screen, over to Melka, well beyond the three-point line, left wing to Cornell. Cornell driving baseline, lays it up, floater no good, rebounded by Greif. Greif looking to run, gives it over to Matthew Klosterman, top of the key. Matthew will pull it out, now driving inside, stops at the elbow, up to Greif, top of the key. Swings it over to Benton, right wing. Driving inside, puts it up. That is no good, but a foul was called first. That'll be East Buck's 4th. Both teams have 4. I believe it was on Riley Melka, the new entrant into the ballgame. So Wildcats with a baseline out of bounds. Matthew Klosterman will throw it in. That was indeed on Melka, his first. Inbounds pass goes to Benton. Picks it up at the elbow, throws up a wild one, gets his own miss, puts it back up, no good. Greif battling for it, but it's picked up by Valenzuela. Kortenkamp into the front court, has it right wing, guarded by Matthew Klosterman. Over to Hesner, driving inside, picks it up. Kortenkamp thought about a 3, instead gives it over to Cornell, left wing. But a 6-second difference between shot and game clock. 15 in the shot clock. Over to Kortenkamp in the left corner. Top of the key to Melka. Gives it over right wing to Cornell. 8 in the shot clock. Cornell driving in. Kicks it out to Valenzuela. Long 2 on the way. That is no good, and Price with the rebound. Shot clock is off. Matthew Klosterman with a 2-on-2. Big step, puts it up. That is no good, rattles out. Rebounded by Melka, 3 seconds. Valenzuela down court to Cornell. He will not get a shot off in time, and it rattles home but does not count. And that will do it for 3 quarters of play here from Central City. So we've played 3 in our score. Central City 48 and the Buccaneers 31. So Wildcats with a comfortable lead entering the fourth quarter over East Buchanan. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. Heartland Bank is a proud supporter of Central City Wildcat sports. At Heartland Bank, we recognize more than ever the need to support local customers and organizations in our communities. As your community bank, we're here for you. Matthew Klosterman leading the way for Central City. He's got 21 points. Aiden Klosterman's added 12. Makai Benson with 10. Jaden Hansen and Braden Rickles both have 2, and David Munyakazi has 1. For East Buck, Dalton Kortenkamp has 13. Chance Bay and Hunter Bowers both with 5. Tristan Russell has 4. Noah Valenzuela has 3 points for East Buck. It'll be Buccaneer basketball to begin the fourth quarter. Wildcats subbed a few players. They're back to their starting 5 to begin the fourth. The Klostermans join Hansen, Benton, and Shellhorn. Buccaneers have Melka, Valenzuela, Hesner, Kortenkamp, and Cornell. Only 2 starters out there for the Bucks as Kortenkamp takes the inbounds pass, and the fourth quarter is underway. Kortenkamp has it right wing, uses a screen from Melka, driving inside, goes up, puts it up, too short off front of the rim, rebounded by Melka. Valenzuela gives it over to Kortenkamp in the corner. Valenzuela, top of the key to Hesner. Over to Kortenkamp, left wing. He will take a 3-pointer. That will roll home. Dalton Kortenkamp gets the triple, his 4th of the game. And he's got 16 points to lead the Bucks. Matthew Klosterman in the front court, top of the key over to Aiden Klosterman, left wing. High post to Shellhorn. His pass is tipped. Matthew has it, though. Has a right corner, driving baseline. Matthew lays it up, blocked out of play from behind. And they're going to say it's off of East Buchanan, or off of Central City, and goes to East Buchanan. And somebody overturned him, and it will go to Central City. So Matthew Klosterman will inbound it. Looking around to try to get it in. Does so to Makai Benson, left elbow. Skips it over to Aiden Klosterman. Goes inside to Shellhorn. He puts it up. That is going to roll home. Marcus Shellhorn gets the basket. That's his first of the game. He's got 2. It's 50-34. Central City. Minute gone here in the fourth quarter. Before new for the Buccaneers to the next dead ball. Melka has the top of the key. Left wing, Valenzuela driving in. Throws up a wild one, no good off the back iron. Rebounded by Benton. He's looking to run in the full court. Driving in, picks it up, gets it out to Shellhorn right wing. Top of the key to Matthew Klosterman. Fakes the triple, driving in. Had his defender lost, dumps it down to Hansen. His layup's no good, and it's rebounded by Kortenkamp. Kortenkamp will bring it up for East Buck. 6.5 to go in the game. 50-34 Wildcats. Kortenkamp dribbling around. We're going to have a timeout called by the Buccaneers. Coach Ersland uses a 30. He's got 2 fulls and a 30 remaining. 6:28 to play in the game. It's Central City 50 and East Buchanan 34. We'll give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Heartland Bank. At Heartland Bank, the strength of our bank lies in the relationships that give meaning to our work. At all times, we remain focused on what we do best, operating as a dependable community bank and delivering on our personal service commitment. Go Central City Wildcats. So 4 new into the game for East Buck. Kortenkamp's the only one that stays. He's joined by 3 starters, Chance Bay, Tristan Russell, and Hunter Bowers, and Graham Erickson also into the game. No change for the Wildcats as the starting 5 still out there with the Klostermans alongside Benton, Shellhorn, and Hansen. Inbounds pass goes to Russell. He has it on the right wing. Driving inside, picks it up just shy of the paint, inside to Bay. He lays it up, too high off the window, no good. Rebound Matthew Klosterman. Matthew into the front court. Looking inside, now gives it over to Benton. Left wing 3 on the way from Makai, no good. Just off to the right, off the rim, and rebounded by Russell. 6 minutes to play, 50-34. Wildcats on top. Russell picks it up the free throw line. Left wing to Bay. He will take a 3-pointer. That one is good. Chance Bay gets it to go. He's got 8. It's 50-37. Buccaneers trying to crawl back into this one. Matthew Klosterman trying to break this press over to Aiden Klosterman. Over into the front court to Makai Benson. Now gives to Shellhorn, back to Aiden Klosterman. Thought about a deep 3-pointer. Instead gives it over to Matthew Klosterman. Wildcats will try to waste some time here and get a good shot. Aiden Klosterman left wing, top of the key to Hansen. Over to Benton left wing. Driving inside. Benton goes up, puts it up off the glass, no good. But Benton is fouled, and he will shoot 2. That is East Buchanan's 5th team foul. We'll see who they got it on as Castor Abernathy will be into the game for the first time after this first free throw. Foul was called on Tristan Russell. That is his first. Kai Benton will shoot 2. On the year, he is an 81% free throw shooter. First one is good. Almost everybody thought it was one shot for some reason. That was not the case as Castor Abernathy's into the game, replacing Marcus Schellhorn. Abernathy, a 6'1 junior, averaging nearly 2 points per contest. One more free throw upcoming for Makai Benton. Second shot is on the way and good. Perfect on both. He's got a dozen. Tied for second leading scorer on this Wildcat team, and it's 52-37, Central City. Kortenkamp has it left wing for the Buccaneers. 5:20 to play in the game. Kortenkamp lays it up off the glass. Beautiful drive, and he gets it to go. With 18 points for the senior guard for East Buck. Matthew Klosterman nearly crosses into the front court. Instead gives it to Aiden, who gives it to Hansen in the front court, but he loses it. Pokes from behind, gets it back, a fight for it, out of bounds off of Bay. And it will be Central City basketball, but the Buccaneers did take some time off the shot clock from the Wildcats. 22 on the shot clock, 5 minutes and 1 second on the game clock. Matthew Klosterman will inbound. Does so to Benton in the right corner. Driving inside, lays it up, partially tipped, rolls off the rim, hung there for a moment, and it's no good. Tristan Russell with the basketball for the Buccaneers. Uses a screen from Bowers, poked by Benton, who took a shot to the face. He's right back up there to play defense. Bay has it left corner, driving inside. Skips it over into the corner of the Kortenkamp, but he couldn't handle it. Buccaneers give it back to the Wildcats. 4:40 to play in the game. It's 52-39 Central City. Aiden Klosterman inbounds to Matthew Klosterman. Dancing around in the backcourt, gives it over to Jaden Hansen in the front court, over to Aiden Klosterman left wing. Top of the key to Matthew Klosterman. Matthew fakes the step back over to Hansen left wing. Hansen driving inside. Good take by Jaden, but too strong on the layup. No good. It's rebounded by Kortenkamp, and they're going to get a foul on Central City. That'll be their 5th as a team. And I believe they just called Matthew Klosterman for it. That would be his 4th. As we got a timeout on the floor called by Central City. Coach Turner calls a 30-second timeout. 52-39 is our score. As they didn't put up on the scoreboard, but I do believe that Matthew Klosterman just picked up his 4th, and there it is. Matthew has to be very careful the rest of the way. 21 points in the night for Matthew Klosterman, but does now have 4 fouls. So out of the timeout, the Wildcats have the Klostermans with Benton, Abernathy, and Hansen. Buccaneers going with Bowers, Russell, Kortenkamp, Erickson, and Bay. It's East Buchanan ball. Dalton Kortenkamp will inbound to Tristan Russell, 90 feet away from the hoop. Russell will let it roll for a while to save some time, but they nearly started the clock. Now they do start it since they picked it up. Russell trying to get inside, but Benton's there to stop that. Skip over to Kortenkamp left wing. Fakes the 3. Inside, Bowers in the paint. Goes up, puts it up, no good, but they're going to get Benton for a foul. He can't believe it. Benton did a pretty good job of staying straight up that time, but they're going to get him for the foul, his 2nd, and team foul number 6. Or correction, looks like they called Castor Abernathy for it. That would be Castor's 1st. First free throw on the way. That is no good from Hunter Bowers. We'll get one more. Both teams be nearly over the limit as Bowers gets the 2nd free throw to go. He's got 6. It's 52-39 East Buck. Central City, and it's actually 52-40. The free throw just now put on the scoreboard as Abernathy has it into the front court. Abernathy picks it up right wing, inside to Matthew Klosterman. That's Hansen. Aiden Klosterman with a corner 3. That is good. Aiden Klosterman knocks down his 5th three-pointer of the night. Give him 15, and it's 55-40. That was a big three-pointer from Aiden Klosterman. Russell going inside. A floater from the free throw line's too strong. Rims out, and they're going to get Jaden Hansen for a reach-in foul. And the Wildcats are over the limit. That'll be a 1-and-1 for East Buchanan. Team foul number 7. 1-and-1 upcoming for Graham Erickson. He has not missed a free throw yet this year in limited opportunities. That one is good. Erickson makes the 1st. Was Hansen's 1st foul and Erickson's 1st point of the game. Second one on the way. Erickson misses the second, rebounded by Benton. It's 55-41. Matthew Klosterman has the top of the key, just beyond the volleyball line. Dribbling left, driving inside, stops, gets the defender in the air, puts it up, and gets it to go. Matthew Klosterman, the great move on the inside. He's got 23, lead all scorers. 57-41 Central City. Russell has it left wing for the Buccaneers. Uses a screen from Erickson. They're going to call a foul. Moving screen, I believe, is the call, and yes, it is on East Buck. That is their sixth as a team. Called on Graham Erickson. That is his first. Inbounds pass goes to Matthew Klosterman. Gets it up into the front court to Castor Abernathy. Abernathy gives it to Klosterman, top of the key. Wildcats content to waste some time here, under 3 minutes to go in the game. Aiden Klosterman has it left wing. Skip over to Matthew Klosterman, fakes the three. Now he will put up the three-pointer. That is too strong off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Aiden Klosterman, however, gives to Abernathy right wing. Back to Aiden Klosterman in the corner, puts up the three. That's no good. Rattles out, nearly had his sixth. But it's 57-41, 2.5 minutes to play. Kortenkamp has it poked loose, trying to get it back, but Hansen comes out of the pile with the basketball. He will slow it up in the front court, does so wisely. As Benton being a little bit of a joker there, fakes the layup when nobody was down there. Matthew Klosterman stops at the free throw line, fakes the jumper, over to Abernathy, 20 on the shot clock, a little over 2 minutes in the game clock. Benton has the top of the key. Gives it over to Matthew Klosterman. Has the left wing, now dribbling up. Stops at the free throw line, puts up a mid-range jumper. That is good. 25 points on the night for Matthew Klosterman. Standout game from the sophomore. It's 59-41. Central City closing this game out. Doing so in strong fashion. Kortenkamp will put up a right wing three for the Bucks and banks it in. Kortenkamp having himself a nice game as well. That's 21 for him. Abernathy with the basketball in the backcourt, up to Hansen across the timeline. 90 seconds to play. Dump down to Aiden Klosterman from his brother Matthew, and that is good. Aiden's got 17 points, his first 2-point field goal after hitting 5 threes. And the Wildcats firmly in control, the minute 15 to go. It's 61-44. Russell has it right wing. Has it nearly poked loose. Erickson is going to turn it over and back as Erickson couldn't cleanly handle the pass. Goes into the backcourt, and that is a turnover. 1:07 to play, and looks like Coach Turner is going to go deep into the bench. We'll give some younger guys and guys that don't always get as much action some time here late in the game. David Munyakazi will re-enter. He's joined by Brady Wise, as well as Christopher Greif, Nolan Gates, and Josh Lindsay. Those last four all into the game for the first time. Inbounds pass from Gates goes to Lindsay. He has the top of the key. Hands it off to Wise. Wise kind of split the difference between Gates and Lindsay. Neither of them knew who it was intended for. Ends up as a turnover into the third row of the bleachers. Under a minute to play, 61-44 Central City. Russell takes the inbounds pass. Guarded by Christopher Greif, driving inside. Stops, kicks it out. Kortenkamp open left wing for a three-pointer. That is good. Dalton Kortenkamp hits another. He's got 24. We've got a timeout called by Coach Turner. And unfortunately, the Buccaneers still pressing with Wildcat JV into the contest, so they're going to have to put all the starters back into the game. Coach Turner uses his second and final 30-second timeout. He's got two fulls. Buccaneers have two fulls and a 30. 61-47, Central City. Coach Turner tried to get the JV kids some playing time, but fortunately, press was still left on by the varsity starters of the Buccaneers late into this ball game. So the starters back out there for the Wildcats, and same can be said for the Buccaneers. 43 seconds to play in the fourth, 61-47. Buccaneers pressing in the full court. Hansen inbounds to Matthew Klosterman. Handling the pressure, gives it over to Aiden Klosterman. Right back to Matthew. Into the front court to Jaden Hansen. And for some reason, the Buccaneers are going to foul, and they're going to call a jump ball. That was not a jump ball. That's the call, however. It will stay with Central City. in a 14-point game. I'm not entirely sure why they're still fouling, but nonetheless, 30 seconds to play. And they are not fouling Matthew Klosterman. He's going to drive inside, stops, puts up a jumper. That is no good. Rebounded by the Buccaneers, picked up by Kortenkamp. Has it into the front court, goes left corner, picks up his dribble, gets it out to Russell. Shot clock is off, 12 seconds to go in the game. Russell has a top of the key, dribbling right. Going inside, guarded by Matthew Klosterman. Skip over to Kortenkamp. He will take another three-pointer. That is no good. Matthew Klosterman rebounds. He will hold out these final couple seconds, and that will do it. A strong victory for Central City. They take down a quality East Buchanan team. Our final score, Central City 61, East Buchanan 47. Just give me one moment. We'll have the final numbers for you here in just a second. So the Wildcats win this one 61-47. Central City improves to 6-4 overall. They are 4-2 in the Tri-Rivers West, barring a big upset victory by Maquoketa Valley. The Wildcats would be tied with the Wildcats in the Tri-Rivers Conference standings. And that would put them tied for third in the conference. Buccaneers fall to 4-4 on the season, and they are 3-3 in the Tri-Rivers West. Here are the final numbers. First for East Buck. Leading scorer was Dalton Kortenkamp. He averaged 8 tonight. He went well beyond that, finished with 24. Chance Bay had 8 after 28 points 24 hours ago. Hunter Bowers had 6. Tristan Russell added 4. Noah Valenzuela had 3, and Ryland Cornell and Graham Erickson both finished with 1 point. For Central City, it was a fast start and a great game from Matthew Klosterman, who led the way with 25 points for the Wildcats. Aiden Klosterman also had a very nice game. He finished with 17. Makai Benton added 12. And Marcus Schellhorn, Braden Rickles, and Jaden Hansen both had 2, while David Munyakazi added in 1 more point for Central City. So the Wildcats improved to 6-4 overall. They are 4-2, 2 games above 500 in the Tri-Rivers West. And that is how they will finish as we head to the holiday break. This is their final game of 2022. They will be back in action on January 3rd of 2023. That game will be right here in Central City, and it will be a big one. The other Wildcats, Maquoketa Valley, are coming to town. And that could be a game that has big-time implications on how the conference standings turn out. I think the Wildcats are very much good enough to be third place in the Tri-Rivers West, the very competitive Tri-Rivers West, that is. But my opinion on the matter doesn't matter a whole lot. They got to go out there and beat Maquoketa Valley on January 3rd. I'll be back here. I'll be on the call for the Battle of the Wildcats. That is our next Wildcat Sports broadcast, January 3rd. Girls starting around 5:30. I'll be on the call here on the Wildcat Sports YouTube page as well as the NFHS Network. So that's just about going to wrap things up here for tonight. Wildcats win it 61-47 over East Buchanan. Central City improves to 6-4. They are 4-2 in the Tri-Rivers West. So for the final time in 2022, this is David Warrington wishing everybody a very happy holidays and wishing you a hopefully not too cold and not too snowy winter break. Here we're supposed to have a big-time snowstorm starting tomorrow. Let's hope that's a little overplayed and we can all stay safe and have a very good holiday season. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in here tonight. David Warrington here saying good night and go Cats.